We are going to make a pencil cup. So you're going to start by going to create and then shaper. And in basic shapes, you're going to get the cube and make sure you are in fixed resize to start. That means you have your 4 arrows. If you're in free resize, well, this little arrow here is how we change between fixed and free. 2 arrows is free, as in I can change one side and it'll only change that. Fixed resize means it changes everything all at the same time. So be very aware of when you're in fixed and free resize. And remember your undo button. If you do something by accident, just click undo and go back to do it right. So we are in shaper, we got the cube, we are in fixed resize, right? So when you click on the size and you come into precision measuring, you're going to type 55 in the X, and you can just press return, or if you like click off, it'll get big. The thing about clicking off is you have to click back on. So you can see it made it 55, 55, 55. Don't panic, I know it looks huge. We're going to switch to free resize, so you click that little circle. If you don't see your tools anytime, right, you just click on your shape. We're going to click that little circle to go to free resize, and then you click on the square to get to precision. And in Z, you're going to write 85 and press return. And again, I know you're zoomed way, it looks huge. You're just going to zoom out. It's a 2-finger swipe on your trackpad. Now, you don't need to click anywhere else. You could, from right here, go to the move, or there's our move button. So if you had all your tools, you could click move. In the precision move, you're going to make your Z be 0. Okay, so again, back to size. We are currently at 55 by 55 for our square, and it's 85 millimeters tall, and your Z is at 0. You want all 3 of these actually at 0, because that's going to help with the next step. Get your shape, make it 55, 55 by 85, and make sure everything is at 0, and then come on back. All right, I'm going to zoom out for this next part, and if you're in a precision spot, just click, on your workspace to get all the shapes and everything back. So what we're going to do here is duplicate this shape. So follow this process carefully. You click the menu here, and you're going to make the copy or tap to duplicate, and immediately just go click on another color. Doesn't matter which color, because you just want your 2 shapes to be 2 different colors. So you duplicate, change the color. Go do that and then come back. Now, we're going to do some moving and resizing. So for starters, resizing. You want this to be in the free resize. You might need to click here, but you want to have 2 arrows, not 4. And click on the precision size adjustment. You're going to make X and Y be 50. What? So I just type 50 and press return on my keyboard. 50 and press return on my keyboard. We're not changing the 85. Go set your size to 50, 50, 85, and then come back. Okay, the next thing we want to do is move this shape to the correct spot. You could go right to precision move if you're here, or if you need to click on the buttons here, you just tap move. And in here, you want your X to be at 0, you want your Y to be at 0, and you want your Z to be at 5. Now, this is the one you copied. We are using our copy to cut out the shape for our cup. So, remember, you set the size to 50 by 50, but kept the height the same. You made sure that it was in the right spot, which is 0, 0, 5, which means it's going to leave 5 millimeters at the bottom. And now you're ready for this final piece, which is to cut. So in this menu, the 2 circles is for cutting. And you want it to cut a hole, which is what it defaults to. And so when you see that it is cut correctly, you tap OK. If you did not have it lined up right, you just click cancel to go back and fix it. Now you have a pencil cup that's ready. Now, when you're looking at the front, that's when you have the yellow part of the cube in the front. If you have gotten like all turned around and you're not sure, double click on your workspace and it always brings you right back to the original view. Now I'm just going to 2-finger scroll out a little so I can see where I am. So once your cup is finished, I want you to tap finish, name it pencil cup, and click done. So now in your gallery, and you can see I have 2, but you should have the last thing you made should be called pencil cup. The reason why you saved it just plain is because if you decide you have time and you want to make more than one design, you can use that cup more than once. So if you're starting with copying a pencil cup, or you already have a pencil cup, here's what we do. We click on our design pencil cup, and you don't click edit, you click copy. So you're going to save your pencil cup, then you're going to go into your gallery and click copy so that now you're looking at a copy of your pencil cup, and then come back. When you have a blank pencil cup that you're ready to decorate, be sure to remember the yellow side is the front. That'll just make it easier for adding decorations and whatnot. So let's do a few things. I need to attach decorations to the front. There's an easy way to do this. So I'm going to show you how to do one, and then you'll be able to do anything from there. So I know that I would like to add a fun symbol. Maybe I'm going to do stars. So I'm going to come to my flat shapes, and flat shapes has a lot of good ones. Don't forget you can go into the by shapes to unlock more. And sometimes drawn in the unlocking more has a lot. But I'm going to find my star. And if you have a lock, that just means you have to buy it. So you click on it, use tokens, you'll have it in your library. I'm going to get my star. Now notice it put your star smack in the middle at the bottom. Don't panic. Click on that move and rotate so that you can see the arrow. So we want a green arrow that if we just drag it forward, it's just going to be in front now. Okay? So now my star is in front, and I didn't free drag it because free dragging it gets it moved all over. I just used the precision drag, grabbed the green, and just pulled it forward. So there's a really easy way to attach decorations and words to the side of something. First, I want you to notice the size. So I clicked on my size tab. This is 2 millimeters. We want our decorations to most likely be 2 millimeters. They might, for our Z, they might be a little bit bigger. You don't want them to be anything smaller. So 2 millimeters, maybe a little bit bigger. Not a ton, but a little. So I want this to go onto my cup. Here's what I'm going to do. Before we get to that, be sure you've checked your size, at least 2 millimeters on the Z. All right. So in our menu, that little magnet is going to let you snap a shape to a surface. It looks like this. So I tap the magnet and I click where I want it to go. Now, you probably didn't notice because this is a star, but it actually put my star here upside down. That's okay. Go use your magnet to attach whatever you're going to add, and then come back because I'm going to show you what to do next. Okay, once you have attached your item, we're going to use the rotate. So down here, this is the top of the star. Maybe I should have used another shape to make it a little more obvious. So just for effect, I'm going to get this heart out here so you can see what I mean. I'm going to do it with this heart. So I'm going to magnet and put the heart right there, okay? So obviously stars can be tilted all different ways. That heart is clearly upside down. When we use that attach, it attaches upside down. Again, remember you want the Z on these to be 2, maybe like 2.1 or 2 or 3, not too thick, not too thin. Okay, so be careful too when you're stretching. So now we need to rotate this. Now there's a little trick to rotating. So when I click rotate, it depends what you're rotating. So I could rotate this by going around like that. But some things we need to flip, so I could be rotating it like this. Notice the numbers that it gives. The easiest way to tell if you're getting close, all the straight angles are something with 90. So 90 degrees, or 90 plus 90 would be 180, or 270, or 360, right? So I didn't get this all perfect or make sure it's perfect, but let me show you what I can do. See here in the rotate, I'm going to type in the number it's closest to. So 72 is closest to 90, so I'm going to type 90. 359 is closest to 360, so I'm going to type in 360. And 180 is dead on for 180. Notice too, 360 and 0 are very many times. So the numbers you'll have will be either 0, 90, 270, 180, or 360. If you're going for a straight up and down flip. Now, I want to show you what happens with text. I'll just leave it saying text. So I'm going to drag my text out, and I'm going to use the magnet. I'm going to attach my text right there. Now text, we have to rotate 2 ways. Notice I'm using the precision move, using the arrows, not just wildly dragging. So first, with your text, you're going to need to flip it. So I'm going to grab this red one and flip it so that it's like that. And see my number there says 184. So what I want it on is about 180. That's at 96, so I want that to be 90. Or 86, I want it to be at 90. So now my text is up and down correct, but you can see it's reversed, right? Not a big deal. So I click here again, and this time I'm going to rotate on the green. And as I rotate, remember I'm watching those numbers. So up here, I'm pretty close. I just want that 273 to be a 270. All right. So now my text is facing the correct direction. It's, all set. What it isn't, though, check this out. When I tap this little size, text starts off at 1.6 millimeters. That is too narrow. I probably should have had you do this first. Make it 2 so that it sticks out enough. But we should be good there. That's the thing where sometimes I make text a little bit bigger, like a 2.5. if I end up changing it after I put it on. Because when it makes something bigger, it stretches in both directions. And we're really just interested in getting it sticking out more. So an important thing you're going to want to do to make this easier on you is, let's say I want to have multiple stars. So I'm going to get rid of that heart because I never wanted a heart. But let's say I want to have multiple stars. And I'm not going to necessarily I am going to rotate my star. Flip it right side up here. So that 80 is going to be a 90. Remember, we're looking for 0, 90, 180, 270, or 360. But get your star where, how you want it. And I am going to resize it some, but I don't want it to get thicker. So what I'm going to do is notice the 20 and the 19. And I'm going to type in, I'm going to make it like 22, and I'll make this 22. Even though they were one, actually I'll make this 23 because that one was one more. All right, so let's say I want one kind of big star. Oh, I did the thing I don't want to do. I did a free drag. So try as best as you can not to free drag, because then you might make it no longer attached, right? You don't want to do that. You want it to be stuck to the side. Otherwise, it won't print. So if you accidentally move it and it becomes not attached, that's why the precision is good. And I'm just going to stretch this a little until, there we go, I kind of like that. But it's still 2 millimeters wide. Okay. And I'm going to eyeball it to about where I want it. And now let's say I want to have a few more stars. Well, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to duplicate because it's attached. Everything is set, even though I'm going to make these stars smaller. So I'll shrink this down. And you can eyeball it, or you can actually want to go quite a bit smaller. Here we go. And so now I'm going to precision move. And sometimes you just have to kind of get it in a few ways. And then I'm going to duplicate it because I want a few of these stars. But kind of, and I was thinking I might rotate them a little, but now I kind of like the way they look. So maybe I'll leave them that way. But you can, sometimes I like things to be a little bit at an angle. What? That did not go the way I wanted. There we go. All right. And I'm going to write I'm going to change this to say Actually, I don't want any text on it. I'm actually just going to take my text off. But if you want to change your text, you type it up there. By the way, sometimes people don't know how to delete. So if I click on it, I can press my delete key on my keyboard, or I can come here and go to the trash can. So for this, I would just add a few more stars. Duplicate, and I'm just going to drag them around where I want. Again, I'm using the copy after I get everything sort of sized or positioned because it's easier than having to do the whole get another one, rotate it kind of thing. So you get the idea. We can have a collection of stars at I want an odd number. So I will play around with getting my stars right, but here's what you're going to do. You're going to add a shape. You're going to use the precision move and drag it forward. You're going to make sure your size, you're going to, get your size about what you want, with the Z being about 2 millimeters. Then you're going to use the magnet and attach of course, that's a terrible job, but. And from there, as you move, you want to use your precision move. And if you're going to use more than one of something, use your duplicate. As a reminder about text, you can't have multiple lines of text in one box. So that's the same thing. Get one text box perfect and then duplicate it and move it down so you can have several lines of text. So you can have words, you can have decorations, and you want them to be attached using that magnet feature and about 2 millimeters wide, tall, or on the Z. So you're going to do some decorating. It's very important that your decorations are on correctly, otherwise creates printing problems. But you're ready to go with your pencil cup. When you're done, you will click finish and you will give it a title. So pick a word that describes it. So mine has stars. So I'm going to call it star and then pencil cup. Well, that's what you're going to name it. Pencil cup, but with a word at the beginning to describe what you have. You might want to just put a giant single initial or a word or a message or whatever makes you happy. So think about what you would like to see on a pencil cup, or actually think about what other people would like to see on a pencil cup and make one. And then when you click done, I want to remind you, absolutely never put a price on a project you are making for us to print. If I need to fix something on your project before it can be printed, I can just get it from the gallery, make that correction, and send it to the printer. You put a price on it, I can't. So do not put a price on your pencil cup or whatever you make.